Hello, good morning. Happy Tuesday. First stream of the week, so feels like a Monday, I guess. Let's see. Audio looks good in OBS. Oh, okay. I had the sparklies behind me for a little bit, but it looks like it fixed itself. So that's cool. Uh Good on that. And I think everything else is going well. All right. So awesome to be back. I had a nice sort of like, not really time off because I was ended up working uh, double or more the amount that I normally work on the day job because I had skipped that the previous week. Also had my family over to come visit, and they were saying hi, and that was all great. So let's this week, what are we focusing on? Today we're focusing on the Stream Manager, another project that I want to continue working on. Limanox, hello, how are you doing today? And then on Thursday, we're going to do another stream on an exploration stream. We're going to work on we're going to explore Fusion Auth, which is a authentication platform. From what I understand, similar to Auth0, but self-hosted. So self-hostable. So think a lot closer to how like Hasura works, rather than Auth0. Limanox, how did the weekend go? You're doing good. You finished the SQLX course. Nice. You kind of now knew how to use it beforehand. Nice. But you're really good now. Excellent. I'm hopefully that was really helpful and everything worked out for you. So thank you for that. My weekend was pretty good. Mostly doing some reorganization type stuff and trying to relax after a busy week last week. You think you can make something like this now? You made one Golang. Props on explaining migrations. Thank you. Yeah, that is something that I don't really see explained very often in many other tutorials very well. And I do remember when I was teaching it, migrations were always the hardest for students to learn. So I definitely want to continue like explaining and figuring out better ways of teaching that. There's like a few different ones of those things where it's like hard to teach, if that makes sense. I think, or rather, maybe it's not hard to teach. Maybe it's just that very few materials out there try to teach it to in a good way. I don't know. I don't know the right way to say it. You had used them but never understood before. It's like a simple database change, right? Yeah. But it goes the philosophy behind them goes a little bit more. So think of migrations as like an actual agile way of doing things, maybe more of a DevOpsy way. And when we say DevOps is a culture and not a technology, I mean something like this, right? When you want to make a change to the database, you want to programmatically change that and never be just going to the database directly. So that's the writing a script to do it. That's to doing something like that. That's why we use the migration tool, right? But then you also do the ups and downs and redoing and undoing things because that allows you to basically make little iteration changes to it, and then anybody who is new coming in will get that change. Now they'll get all the things, right? Like including the changes that you made. So it's like, okay, we're gonna go for, you added this thing, we add it, then we remove it, then we add it, then we remove it. Like you could end up doing that, which feels like it would be very inefficient, but that's the point. You now have a database that's guaranteed to be in the same state because you've done the exact same things to the database that you've done to production. I don't actually know if I explained it as well as I did in a course right then. But it's, I mean, the end result is it's trying to make it so that way you don't have to worry about what the state of the database is. It's crazy how many working don't understand them, even at your company. It is, I think if you never were sort of like taught it and worked with it a lot, you're not really going to fully understand it. And then the second thing is, if you've never been burned because you didn't use it, that's going to make it really hard to understand too, even if you're using them, right? Because it's going to be like, well, why are we using this tool? It's not really helping us. That's sort of like TDD, right? If you do test-driven development, but you've never run into a problem because you didn't use test-driven development, you're not really going to understand test-driven development. I wanted to say catch-22, but I don't know if that's exactly the right way to say it. It's a weird problem because you could follow the best practices but not actually do it right because you don't really understand the best practice. I think it's the same thing for migrations. But all right. That's all besides the point. Today we're continuing to work on this this tool, and we're working on the hello list. Now, I tried to run the stream manager right before this. Do I want down? I don't think I want down. I think I want right. And when I cargo run this, we get some errors. And I vaguely remember seeing these errors. I thought maybe I had fixed it, but I think I actually just ended the stream. I got it and was like, okay, well, that sounds like a good time to stop. So I think that's what happened here. So in my Twitch events listener, in the catch auth file, we get this: trait bound Twitch types basic user ID ref into cow is not satisfied. So something happened there. The trait into cow user ID ref is not implemented for Twitch types basic user ID ref. Okay, you have a question for me? If you can ask me? Absolutely, yeah. The worst I can say is either I don't know or I can't answer it right now. So I'm building an Auth0 clone in Rust. Nice. When storing PII, I found out that Auth0 is storing everything encrypted in database, which is a good idea, especially when it's PII. Like even password hashes are encrypted. And even emails and names. Yeah. Should I also do it? So I'm going to ask a follow-up question, which is, how serious are you about this project? Like, is this a project that you want other people to use? Like, do you want it to compete with Auth0? To be sort of like the same level of security and provide the same value that Auth0 users get right now? You plan to replace it, but only for yourself or for like other people to use it? Okay, just for yourself. Follow-up question. What type of data are you going to be storing? Because if you store data, like how I guess like this is something that a security person once taught me to ask in the past, which is how bad would it be for your clients, so for users of your application, if your database is compromised? Email, first name, last name, and passwords. I mean, very bad with just that information. I would say that's not very bad, but that's only because that's in relation. That's relative to other things that you could be storing that would make it significantly worse. Like, for example, if you had even more PIA data. So in the United States, we have somebody's what is the social security numbers, bank routing or bank routing information, maybe credit card data, license, your driver's license information, your address, phone numbers, things like that are like would make it even worse, right? And if I remember correctly, email is not okay. So you're also storing their IP address, which the thing about IP address is that it's not always like a one-to-one, right? Because like every time they log in, it might be a different IP address, because if they're on DHCP from an ISP, like every time that I reboot my router, I get a new IP address. So it's not always going to be exactly the same. And if you use like a service that hides your IP, it's going to give you sort of like a random one here and there. So like sometimes it's a little bit tough to tell. You're using a third party for payments. Okay. So in that case, I would probably definitely have encryption at rest. So encryption with data at rest is absolutely essential. Like you have to have that. Beyond that, if you use a managed database, just make sure that they are as configured correctly, and then you're probably fine. If you're self-hosting the database too, then I would probably go with the double encryption. But where are you going to store that encryption key? Like, do you have a good way to like get that back? How are you storing backups? Where is the backups going? Is that going to be able to be compromised? Because if somebody could get the backups easier than they can get the double encrypted database, then there's no reason to even have the encryption on the database then. Your customers only want the app to work in their office network. Backups are encrypted with different REST service. Okay, yeah, so it would. I think it's also going to depend upon your customers, right? So like it sounds like you know who your customers are. If for a business thing also, because double encryption doesn't cost you any extra, really, like it's just a little bit of extra coding time. It slows them down just a teeny tiny bit, but it's not really that bad. However, let's put on a business hat here. This is a cheap thing for you to do, but a value add that you could potentially use to increase the price of the product and defend that price. So that might be a reason to do it there. Is it gives them a tiny little bit, actually not just tiny, it gives them more security, you can charge more, and it costs you a little bit less, not too much work. So that's also a different consideration there for the business side. Sri, hello. How are you doing today? And yes, we're using Rustlang. You can't charge more. Okay. Well, so in that case, I don't think it's going to be that bad. Either way, right? Because it's not going to cost you that much time extra to do that. And with the data you're spending, it's sort of like, you might want to find out what your customers' data like storage requirements are, because they might have some requirements for their own vendors or their own clients, and sometimes they forget to ask you at this point in time in the development side, but then later on do that. Oh, Sri, hello. Welcome to Twitch chat too. Yes, we are using Rustlang here. All right. So we had that error saying something about this indical. Okay, Twitch types basic, user ID ref indical, but why is that happening? Where is that happening? What code is that happening in? Oh, it's happening in Twitch API. Oh, so it's not in Twitch Events Listener. It's in Twitch API, which I had opened, but I didn't think I needed it. I forked this, didn't I? You know what this was? I think we were using Twitch API. We forked it to make changes to it, and we're realizing that that's going to be a little bit too much. So, yeah, let's switch back to not using our own Twitch API. Because, yeah, I was, let's see, Twitch API. And then I started using it from here. I need that. But yeah, I went to their Twitch API. I think I want to go to their Twitch API as opposed to my Twitch API. Which makes me think I just want to replace this with you. And then, of course, I have to yank after I delete that. Okay. So if I do you, are you happy now? Over engineering to brim, so when I hire devs, it's full of bugs now because of new features. Yay! Am I making something like Restream Bot? No, not exactly. What I'm trying to do here is make it just as something that gives me like some fun things. I'm sure that Restream Bot does some things like this for me, but I would love to have like a list somewhere on my screen, maybe like on my other monitor over here on my left or on my right. I'm not sure which one yet. And then something where I like, okay, the first time that somebody pops up, I want to like see that so I can do like a hello to them and know that I actually said hello to them. Some things like that. I want to see like when ads are popping up on stream. Countdown to the next ad is I actually noted in what this was. Yeah, and I think we're just sort of gonna cancel that and not do that yet. Oh, ads just started. Unique Vahu. Hello, how are you doing today? Is the overlay on stream your own stream manager? No. The overlay on stream is it's obviously super simple. I'm using the Twitch one, like the Twitch overlay. That's where I'm getting like the pop-ups of the Twitch chat. I don't really have any much else on overlay right now. Like these ads running is just text and OBS. And Sri, yes, this is the Rust language. No Twitch ads in your country. Oh, I think you mentioned that before. Okay, so we need to fix this. What's going on with you? Are you different now? No, I was using the main thing from GitHub just so that I can do the other one, right? Like I don't think I actually need, yeah, I can just use, I don't have to go do that at all. I can just go back to crates.io. Which this was Twitch API. Okay, so Twitch API here. Now, if I add I don't think I want to necessarily add that in like that, right? I just want Twitch underscore API. And that's 07 RC7. Helix request event subs. Hey, here, I can comment you out. Okay, so Helix request event sub. Oh, right. I have to do something special if I want multiple added in, don't I? Okay, and there's Twitch API with the right version and the right features. So now if I go ahead and run this, that's an immediate fail. Oh, I bet we have so many problems in here now. Oh yeah, they're in here. Unresolved import, get add schedule. Right, because get add schedule, we try to use that and there just is a fight thing versus whatever it's called. Twitch APIs, was it Barry or Benny or somebody was like, we're not gonna fix it. And then they're like, they may be gone. Why don't I use Cargo Watch? I do every once in a while use Cargo Watch. I guess like for this specific thing right now, it when it works, it stays loaded up. So I don't really need to have it restart for me right now. But yeah, we probably can do it eventually once I get these things running. Okay, so you are in Twitch API. Oh, unresolved import. Twitch API, Helix channel, but what file? Library. You're not finding things, but you're kind of finding things. Line 15. Okay, so you don't know this thing. Failed to resolve, could not find channel chat message v1. Aha, now we have a bunch of problems. Skimmis, hello. How are you doing today? And thank you so much for the Prime subscription. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And apparently I turned up my volume quite loud. That was very loud in my speakers here. But at least the noises are working. Okay, so this client is not satisfied. The other following type traits. Okay, so what did I do? Am I in a weird... I'm in main because I was so confident it was going to work. The trait bound, okay, let's full screen this. The trait bound request client, Twitch API client is not satisfied. The following other types implement trait client, Helix client. Okay, where do I get this client from? Right here. Okay, so do request client builder new. And where am I getting? I'm getting request. Oh, use a request like this. Oh, I bet. Do we have the wrong version of request? We probably have the wrong version of request. So I have 012 here. We're using request here, but I need to figure out what version Twitch API needs. That is 012. Oh, wait, but nope, this is main. I want whatever version we've deployed. 070RC. Release, maybe? 0114. That makes more sense. Okay, so with that in, rerun this. And I guess I also need to restart you, don't I? Yes, this is I took last week off from streaming. So no streams last week, but we're back to it again this week. Request always messes up things. Yeah, I feel like Rust has the ability to make it not mess up things a lot if I shouldn't say people. If the library maintainers just re-exported the version of request that they wanted you to use, then I would just use that. But they didn't re-export it. An Axum status code from Axum collides with one from request when I do macros. Oh no, that's not good. In Rust, if you don't equal 1.0, Cargo will pull the latest version. You didn't know this. Oh. I didn't know it. I did. Oh, because it's like, because there is a 1.0, it's going to do that. But because I don't have a 1.0, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Okay, get ad schedule doesn't work, so we're not doing that. What function is this in? Wait. Why can't I go up anymore? Like, I can go down. I can't go up? Wait, what? Okay. That was weird. I can go up when I full screen it in Zellage. I wonder if that was a Zellage bug and not a Helix bug. Okay, so this is just plain old run. So we set up the channels. We start the code sender server, right? Okay. We do the user token stuff. Twitch Helix client. We get the streamer. We set up the WebSocket. We do add request stuff. And we don't need any of you. And then we do WebSocket and do this. Okay. Channel chat. Oh, I need to do that for channel chat messages. Oh, that's the reason why I was going. Okay. That was the reason why I went up to. Okay. 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 So the main reason why we went to the main branch of this is because we wanted to grab the to get channel chat stuff, which we had working, which makes me think that most of the problem was around the ad stuff. So if we're in main, let's grab this commit. So this was Twitch API, that commit. That's going to require request 12, right? Which is the latest version of request, I think. 0.12.2. Let's see. What has been my relationship with Rust macros? Well, I mean, I'm a user of a lot of Rust macros, as we all are, I believe. Now writing them, I've written a few Rust macros. I've written, I think, one of each type in the past. I've never created a course on like how to write them. I'm still sort of like trying to find a really good business use case for writing them sort of in a natural way that's also simple that I can use in a course. Because if I try to make it, if I try to force it, I'll end up doing like a, oh hey, this is like, you know, we can create like 1,000 cats with a macro, which is like not really all that useful, right? So I haven't figured out a good way to do that yet, but I want to. I'm it's on my list to do something with macros. And I do like the idea of macros. I think they're pretty good. Okay, the trait bound Twitch types basic. Okay, so we're back to this into cow. So Helix streams get followed streams user ID. Now this user ID is a user ID ref. And this is in the Twitch API code, so I can't really do anything about this. This impulse types into cow, which the cow is like a string type thing, right? Oh, wait, this is their code too. Wait, why am I? Okay, hold on. Oh, it's all in their code. Okay, that's weird. Yeah, it's just straight from them. User ID ref is not implemented for Twitch user ID ref. Required by bound, introduced by this call. And this. It's all coming from like their stuff. Do I like not have the right version of Rust or something? Why are they getting this? Okay, Twitch types basic user ID ref. Or wait, is that no, because that's still what they're calling, right? I'm confused. Either main branch is broken or maybe try running cargo update. Yeah, it probably is main branch is broken, isn't it? We can try cargo update. I don't imagine that it would work in this specific case because let's see. I don't think they did anything with Twitch API here. Unless the problem wasn't in Twitch API. Yeah, okay. So same problem here. Now Twitch types basic user ID ref into cow is not satisfied. So if we come this is all their code, and then all of the information type errors are also their code. So if we come to here, okay, so this is their code, right? So user ID, they do a match. It's okay, so they get a user ID ref. It's a ref to a ref. They then attempt to pass this into a function which does an into cow for this user ID ref. User ID ref. Can I find user ID ref? I cannot find that myself here. Probably because it's in their code, right? Oh, but they do have it here, so I can go take a look at it. Okay, they're doing some fun stuff with the macro here. So user ID ref, which is a user ID. Okay, got it. But clearly they don't do a into cow for that or from cow. I can't do that myself. Hugh, hello. How are you doing today? Some Rust libraries are deeply broken though. Yeah, it's that is a problem with, I mean, not just Rust. It's a problem with a lot of different libraries. Let's see. You saw I have 2 versions of Twitch types. Twitch types. Is that in my Cargo Toml? I have. Ooh. Ooh. You're right. I didn't do this right. 788. Yeah. Let's try that. Let's restart LSP and see if that works. Uh-oh. Yak Lamb. Nope. Best viewers are here. What even is manual braid? I don't know. We can maybe take a look at that. Let's ooh, okay. No errors in there. No errors here? Maybe? Excellent. Okay, so these things are working there, which means that I should be able to, we can do a cargo watch here. Let's cargo watch X run. Huh. Now what are you yelling at me about? Okay, so into cow for this one. Oh. I'm using the wrong version of Twitch API here. I need to probably use the same Twitch API so I can have the same versions of things. That's probably what it is. Which just means, can I just like re-export all of Twitch API? I think I can, right? Like, so in library, can I just pub use Twitch API? Like that, and now that's available over here in Stream Manager. No. I mean, maybe. I think I can use that. But it didn't solve my problem. It is getting it from get now, which is good. The trait into cow is not implemented for, okay, yeah, that entire thing. And so is it the same problem that we had before where it was multiple Twitch types? So if I just run this on its own, oh, it won't show me anymore. Yeah, because you saw it was being compiled twice. We can try the update here, just in case. And also clean. Then you use Twitch events, listener, Twitch API. Oh, you're probably right. Yeah, I do. Why is that working still when I've removed it from here? Like, shouldn't I have, like, could not find Twitch API or something like that? That just feels weird. Okay, compiling catch auth. Oh, from Twitch events listener, catch auth. And doing that. Okay. I haven't saved this file. Okay. Well, that was true. I did not save the file. Thank you, Jappo, for that. Why are you still yelling at me? Now it's compiling. Yeah, look at that. We have the two Twitch types still. So let's go find everywhere where we use Twitch. Was it underscore API? Let's just in cargo lock. Yeah, so I get that trait here again. Let's see, this is all their code. This is their code. Is this my code? Get followed streams? No, I think it's their code still. This one's my code. Because of the unused variable. Okay, that's fine. Okay, next question. Twitch events listener. Okay, so I am going directly to the path here. And this is all saved, right? Right all? I don't see anything there. And when I try to run you, this works. So I'm able to compile it and get it running. Nothing else looks crazy in here. The issue is because it's looking for conditional ownership with cow, but user ID doesn't have the trait implemented for it. Maybe the older version doesn't have it. I guess, like, what am I doing differently in here? Using that to cause the problem when I also had the problem previously and then fixed it by just having... Like, I guess Shouldn't I have... Do I really need this? In the other one as well? Like, do I need to pull in, like, you? And just say something like, here, Twitch API. Pull you in. What did I do? I failed to copy you. There. So if I just bring you in like that. Still trying to compile Twitch API twice. Different message now. Oh, I haven't imported the trait. That's why I can't find it. Import the trait in that file. Wait, which file are we talking about? And now we have a different error altogether, and it's still trying to compile Twitch API twice. Oh, okay. So non-exhaustive patterns. So that's actually just now a problem with me. Which trait was I missing? And also I can undo this. All right, so back to this problem here. Yeah, Limanox, where were you suggesting that I import the trait? Oh, okay, yeah. So you're talking about the fact, yeah, it was in the other code. So I can get it working, and I know it does feel weird, right, Skimmis? I can get it working by pulling this in here. That doesn't feel right. Why do I have that? Okay, I want you. Okay, so if I pull you in like that, now when I cargo run you, we should get the error that we're non-exhaustive arms. Okay, let's go back to librs. It's still yelling. Okay, hold on. LSP restart. Okay. Non-exhaustive, but fill the match arms. Oh, we got two to-dos. So add break begin and chat message. So I'm not going to worry about add break begin right now. We're going to do chat message. Right. So when this happens, let's just go ahead and do a print line. Got a chat message from username. Can I also, is this actually happening? Let's try print line. Let's see. Ad break started. Will last for. Can I do a duration here? like that. Yeah, I can. Ooh. That just exits right away. Huh. It's not something weird with cargo. Oh, it is something weird with cargo run. Oh, because I need a. That's the reason why we can't use cargo run. Is because I have some interactive stuff to do. Can I do cargo watch with interactive things like this? Oh, there he goes. Okay, so now we have got a chat message from Liminox, Skimmis, Liminox. Okay. Excellent. All right, so it's working. We got it working. Excellent. We are only an hour into stream and I've got ourselves in basically a bare working state so we can start working. That's normal for coding, right? And ad break's going to start in around 2 minutes. That's going to be perfect for us to also see if that side is working as well. Now, for a hello queue, what I would love to see is something that I could basically see like, hey, I need to say hello to whoever, and then maybe even mark that as hello. I'm not exactly sure. I wish that Helix would allow me to auto update whenever a file change that it's using. Tell me again what was broken and how I fixed it. What was broken was that I think I don't think it was like necessarily a trait or something like that, and I'm not necessarily sure why it needed to be exactly what I needed to do. I needed to pull in Twitch API into the Stream Manager, even though I'm using Twitch API only from Twitch Events Listener. But I think that there may have been some types or something else that's going on in order to like make that work. But once I did that, everything was perfectly fine. I don't really understand why that is right now, but we got it working, so I'm kind of okay with it. It's probably because of trait import thingies. Yeah, it's probably because of that. But I can't say like 100% like certain of where exactly the trait import thingies were going wrong, or why this project needs that as well as this project when this project is the one that dealing with all the trait thingies. Okay, so if I want a hello queue, basically the first time that somebody says anything in chat, I could then say hello to them. I want just a message, just like list maybe in a file someplace that I can then go in and deal with. Oh, I need to use Cargo Workspaces if you want to share traits. Aren't I using Cargo Workspace? Oh no, because these are completely separate projects. That's what it is. Okay, that's why I need to do it, because they're completely separate projects. They're not, it's not a workspace. That's too bad. That would be nice if that was, I don't know if like the right word is fixed, but better. I feel like it would be nicer for me if I didn't have to do that. Okay. Ad is starting any second now. It just says ad starting soon now instead of a countdown. I'll go ahead and set this up. Ad break started. Oh, ad break started will last for 60 seconds. Okay, cool. So that side is also working, the way we expect it to. So that's good. Oh, there might be a cargo extension. I probably can use something like that. I've never really did a deep dive into cargo itself to figure out like every little tweak and fun thing we can do with cargo.toml, because there are a lot of really cool things you can do to like make this side of Rust a little bit nicer, or at least customized to how I want it. What he did was imported a trait from the import local trait. Oh, okay. Yeah, so basically if I re-export the trait, I can use that. You use lots of C libraries, and that's why maybe. Oh, yeah, so like you're basically doing more things that require that kind of stuff than I do. So therefore, it's taken longer for me to get into this trouble. Okay. Design wise, how do I want to handle this? Now it could be a web application. Oh, you use Windows too. I've not been programming for Windows, really. Like even when I program on Windows, I usually just use the Linux subsystem, which I know is not like 100% Linux, but at least WSL2 is a VM. Oh, and that's why you use Helix, because it's nicer to configure on Windows. That also makes a lot of sense. LSP could be better though. LSP can always be better. Always be better. All right, so Hello Q. You know, I almost feel that I want another project, right? Like, because I could have another terminal that I have just over here, and I just go over and click on it. Now, the other thing is if I decide to do that on like another computer altogether, like let's say I have a tablet down here, I have my Windows computer over here. If I wanted to like have something to click on that would have to be a HTTP call to a server just that says like, hey, it's time to this person said hi. This person said something, and I can then do something about it. WSL is great most of the time. It just breaks down with VPNs, which usually come to play with employers. Yeah, I haven't really had to use VPNs with WSL ever. It's like usually when I use VPNs, it's just like I put the entire system on it, and I'm now on that thing. But I haven't used a VPN in a long time. Networking becomes a pain. I can see that. Awesome issue you've run into. You go to impl of a trait and decide to add a new method and let Helix auto-implement the method. It does, but LSP doesn't respond. You do it again, and now there are two or more. So basically you're running out of memory or something? Because WSL uses 8 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah. WSL2 is a VM, and because of that, there's unique problems. They really tried. Like Windows really tried to not use a VM for it. And that was what WSL1 was. And the problem was that it wasn't really Linux. It was just pretending to be Linux. Oh, you don't like it when your laptop heats up and your hands sweat. Oh, that's yeah. I yeah, it's been really hot around here recently, so it's really easy for that kind of thing to happen here too. Shandu, hello. How are you doing today? Okay, so where's my mouse? There you are. If I just say, let's just say that I drop this into a file, right? let's try that as like the very do I want to do that, or do I want to forward it on to another project that then does the thing? Because this is kind of like a hello queue, except it has repeats. So I also need to know what this is. Now, the philosophy of Stream Manager is that it doesn't actually do any of the things here, right? Because I am pulling in other projects for it to work on. So I think like a hello queue would be its own thing. Which could be a web application, but I could also see us doing Tori, or just a really simple CLI. I think a simple CLI would be sufficient for this. So I'll call this hello Twitch hello queue. Now hello queue. We have a new version of REST, right? Hello Diablo, you see no cat. You are correct. But there is no reason to see no cat, because there is indeed a cat. And you know, if I move this a little bit closer, you can get closer to cat. Okay, that's a little bit low. There you go. We have cat. Also, Diablo, how are you doing today? Okay, so we're going to make this a library. We're going to make this a library because we're going to call it from the other one. So cargo new library, and then what are we going to call this? I guess just hello queue. I have no plans on making this a crate to upload. I'm probably just going to grab this from GitHub directly. Yeah, let's just do that. That's interesting. I don't remember this note coming up when I created a new library. But that is nice. You're looking at Toggle's weird code he wrote. I mean, isn't that like all of us streamers and all of our weird code that we wrote? Or maybe just all of us developers and all of our weird code we're constantly writing. I think they removed that comment from the generated cargo.toml. Oh, so it was in the cargo.toml and now it's out here. That actually, I think that makes a lot of sense, because if I come over here, yeah, there it goes. See more keys like that. Over here. Nope. Wait. This is LMS. Yep, you're right. They have removed it. Okay, so we have no dependencies, no nothing else. That's perfectly fine. Now, what am I doing for... Okay, so for each of these things, Like, for example, we got change theme. Hey, we print line that we change the theme. Then you go to change Helix theme, change Helix theme. Okay, so we just run the thing directly. So we can definitely do the same thing here. So if I go to library, let's not worry about any of you right now. Do a pub function. What do I want to call this? This would be add name. No, because this is going to be so this is now where we talk about processes. How do I want to do hello Q type stuff? Do I want to run this as a different process and now I'm passing data between processes? That's more than a channel. That's a lot more than a channel. So if this is a completely different program, that's one thing. But if I'm just going to throw it into a file and then have, I don't know, like a file reader up. So we need to do some testing before I actually do anything like this to it. So let's not up, let's do down. So let's imagine here, we don't have much. We can do some tests in here. Let's say that we have our Q dot, we'll call this just txt, right? And if we echo schemas to q.txt, I want to be able to see that, right? But I want to see it like add in so I don't have to constantly refresh this myself. Now, if I were to attempt to Helix this won't work, right? Because Helix won't auto refresh when this gets added in. So if I now say Diablo D3, I don't see this until I do reload. Did Helix say something where I could, like when a file updates, it will reload automatically? Is that something that can happen? Not yet. That's too bad. Okay, so that's unfortunate. So we can't use Helix for this. I don't think bat works, right? So like if I bat Q, yeah, that's bat is not going to show it to me because I need something more interactive for this. Tail would work, yes. So if I were to tail, is it F? I think it is F, right? So if I tail Q like that, and now we add in another one. We have Schemas, Diablo, here, Liminox. Now we see that added in. What I don't have is the ability, like I can't do something like that. It's like, oh hey, like I've said hello to everybody. Which is not the best, but I would have to, that's not the worst also. So I could just do this. You could use a Unix socket, though you don't know if Mac has it. On Linux, you can create a socket with MK FIFO, and then you can just cat the socket. I've never done anything with that. Shall we try it? Also, I missed a message. Oh yeah, Skimmis. You'd like to see that? You've always wanted to learn how to do inter-process communication. Let's see. My understanding is that RPC is the traditional way to do inter-process communication. And then there's gRPC, which is another sort of version of RPC. I know a lot of people do that between like front ends and back ends and across internet type stuff. Now, this would be on one system, right? I potentially could do this to multiple systems if I use gRPC. We could also use WebSockets. There's a lot of things we could do. This one would probably be server sent events if I wanted to like actually do a web server. But the tail could actually work pretty well if I do this on the same system. But let's try it out. So if I use MK FIFO, so make FIFOs. Thank you for that, man. Creates the FIFOs requested in the order specified. The options are as follows. Set the following permission bits. Okay. Doesn't really help. Okay, MK FIFO is just for named pipes. Oh yeah, so yay Unix. Okay, so let's see. This is how would I use that to then read from it? And I just okay, so I can just MK FIFO and then cat the thing that I create, and then I just echo into it too. Is that all I need to do? The bracket. Oh, the name. Oh, the MK FIFO make FIFOs named pipes. Yeah, that is a fun change that they did for that. Okay, so if I do MK FIFO, and then we just name this as testing queue. Here's my testing queue. Notice it has this weird pipe on the left of it to let us know that it's a named pipe. Okay, now if I cat the testing queue, that's sitting there, and if I now echo, let's echo Skimmis to the testing queue. Oh, but that immediately quit out of this as soon as it happened. Which I now see what you said. The cat process will end if the process writing to the FIFO closes its end. Okay. So that's too bad. So this is potentially one way, right? You can do prog, your FIFO, and then other program. So program takes in your FIFO, and then other program writes to your FIFO, and it's like you did other prog. Okay. Oh, that's cool for piping. If you keep the file open, the cat process does not immediately close. So I don't want to. Huh. I can't use echo then. I can write to it. Oh, ad break started. I'm struggling to figure out how worthwhile this is, though, for this specific use case. I can see this being really helpful for some other types of scripting things that we're doing. But for this specific use case, do I want to keep a file open and just constantly write to it over and over and over again? What about using something like Python and local WebSocket, and then when you do echoes, you get date and clear? I mean, I could do that. Like that would be a more traditional method of doing something like this. It's like in Amazon when was it Jeff Bezos who wrote it? There was the white paper for the 7-factor app. And that was all about if you want different processes to communicate to each other, even if they're on the same system, they basically said you will use HTTP or HTTPS. That's it. That's it. Like you will use that. I could even do it in Rust. Yeah, I know. I like that. 5 minutes if we use Python, 30 minutes if we do it in Rust, 30 days if we do it in Brainfuck. Yeah. And we can just keep on going up from there. Now, something I am interested in is like there was the other method which was RPC, right? Which I've not ever used myself. 30 years in Lisp. I bet, isn't that like reverse? 30 days in Lisp, 30 years in Brainfuck. Um, let's see. RP. My brain just completely like just decided to take a break for a second there. RPC. What am I Google searching for this? It's just RPC communication processes, message, programming or something. Okay, so a remote procedure call is a software communication protocol that one program uses to request a service from another program located on a different computer and network without having to understand the network's details. Oh, RPC is used to call other processes on remote systems. So what if I don't want it to be remote? I want it to be local. Goodbye brain. IPC. Okay. Oh, remote. Ha, that makes sense. IPC. Inter-process communication. Inter-process communication is a mechanism that allows processes to communicate with each other and synchronize their actions. The communication between these processes can be seen as method of cooperation between them. Okay, that sounds appropriate. Now, if I do Wikipedia, is this going to be too... Is this not going to really be helpful? Oh, there's just different methods for us to do this. Oh, it's not like... okay, so for some reason, I always thought it was like a technology like gRPC was like an actual technology to use. Wait, I've been missing stuff. If you need to control a program remotely, stupidly, open a Unix socket or a socket file. Well, we kind of did that with the FIFO, right? LRPC. Wait, so you're suggesting I do RPC, not IPC. Now, IPC has a couple different things, like method file. So that could just store it to a file, right? You can do something, we can do a signal. We can do a socket, which was the thing that we did with the test queue, right? That was the socket. So that was a FIFO. Message queue could be interesting. RPC is a model, not a protocol. Yeah, that's what I'm sort of seeing right now, is that RPC and IPC are just the idea of doing something, right? And then there's different ways of doing it. Like, for example, this message queue or an anonymous pipe, which, oh, I did a named pipe. Now this makes me curious. If this named pipe and file are pretty much the same thing, right? If I came into Stream Manager, first of all, can I see this hello queue? I don't think I would be able to. Now, if I were to, so I call this testing queue, right? And it's right there. If I were to, let's say, create a link between hello queue, testing queue, and go ahead and be here. There's testing queue like that. And now if I echo to this here, oh, so you stay open and running and waiting until I cat this, right? Yeah, and then that exits this and the other one. Okay. Can I give an example of what you want to do? So what I want is some way like on screen to display unique names that have shown up, so that way I can say hello to everybody as they come in. That's all I really want to do. And now what would be great is if I could also have it be a little, like, just a little app where I can hit like spacebar or some other key and it would then go through. So I can like have, okay, say hello to, you know, in order that we got it. Like say hello to Laminox, Skimmis, Hugh, Shandu, Diablo, Japfo, things like that. Skip everybody else because they've already said something. So it's actually not very hard, right? The The hardest part is now me getting the information, getting the name from Stream Manager to the hello queue. That's really the hardest part, is like sending that over to here. Now, I've heard of ncurses. Like, I've installed that on like people's computers in the past when I was a sysadmin. But I actually don't know what ncurses does. Every time I did a Python script, I don't think I actually did any libraries with it. I just used Python on its own and just like did stuff. So what does ncurses do? You can do this as an IRC-esque IPC over a named pipe or a Unix socket. Ncurses is a TUI fuck up. Cool. It makes it makes terminal apps. Oh, I see. So it's like a GUI for terminal. It's a TUI. Yeah. If we're gonna use a TUI, I would absolutely be trying Anathema. Ncurses is why people like Toggle make shit like Anathema. Stacking, hello. How are you doing today? You know that Stream Manager could just be part of the main app, so you don't have to worry about IPv. Yeah, I know. I could just do things like that. And that probably would be the best thing to do, would be to create, like, do hello queue inside of here. How would I want to display that though? Like, where would I display it? So like if I have the Stream Manager running over here, I could just say hello to whatever. Or if I do a TUI using Anathema, I then have it show up in like the top right in like someplace else. That could be what we want to do. Use Anathema and Binky? What's Binky? Oh yeah, I'm absolutely sure I've used apps that use ncurses. It's too popular to not, right? That's the best part about being a user, is that you don't actually have to care about how things work behind the scenes. Okay, so if we were to experiment with Anathema, how would I do this? Because like our architecture for Stream Manager is that it's sitting right here. I could use a not socket, not pop. I could use a channel to send it into another application. So if I have, okay, let's say we have a child of Stream Manager. So that would be something like, it's working again. Yay. Okay, so if I want to switch to creating a front end. We're gonna do a cargo new, probably a library, right? And I want to throw in I don't want to call it Anathema. We'll just call it front end. We'll call it TUI. TUI is the front end, so I'll just call it front end. Front end. What's the website for Anathema? Where should I search for it? Anathema, like Togglebit? TUI? Wasn't that second link? It probably was. Okay. Yeah. We're not going to use anything else. We don't care about anybody else. We only care about anathema with toggle bit, right? Okay, so install. Add anathema to your Cogro file. So is anathema not deployed? Do I have to use the dev branch one? I mean, it's here, so this should be fine, right? I mean, I'm looking at a crate. Oh, that's the older one. Okay, so don't use this one. Got it. All right, so in that case, go ahead and grab you. And we want to go into, oh, but before I do this, we have to workspace this. So workspace, members, and what did we call this? Front end. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so saved you, which means now we can go and hang out with our other cargo.toml and you. Throw you in there. Okay, so you're happy now. Okay, so that crate is the ancient one. He may release it as a crate named Anathema 2 as well. It's virtually a new library. I mean, he could just do it as Anathema like 1.0 or Anathema 2. Like I don't see a reason why it needs to be a different crate. Okay, so render border around 3-line text, placing that text in the middle of the terminal. Now you need to create a simple text box and have a variable that listens on a WebSocket. Yeah, that's sort of like what I was thinking. So what's the bare minimum to get started here? So obviously our function main. So let's do, how do I want to do this? Let's bring you over to the side. Oh, more to the side. Go away. And you go like that. You go full screen, and we're happy. Okay, so I want a pub function, probably run. This does not need to be asynchronous. That's interesting. Okay. So let template read to string template.aml, which is going to be this. Okay. So that's interesting. So we need to have a template, right? Which is going to start this off. So I need if I go right here, a touch, front end, source. I'm going to call it template.aml. Should I be calling this something else? We'll just do that. And then can I do split? Let's see. We have vsplit, hsplit. Yeah. Okay, so we'll do something like align alignment center. border VStack. So I'll just copy all this in for right now. And then we'll play with it to sort of like see how it works. This also has like the actual like hard-coded text in it, which I don't think I really want. I think it's done now, right? Yep, name is awesome template. Okay. So here you are. We save you, and so now, wait, did I not save you? Oh, this is the library. I was looking at the wrong area. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that, Diablo. I think what I've got it set for is 1 minute of ads every 30 minutes. Or every 20 minutes. It's 3 minutes. Yeah, it's 3 minutes every hour. And so now it's 1 minute every 20 minutes, which is unfortunate. Those were the worst ads. I wish there was a way to set what the ads would be. That would be amazing. Or if I could like look at the potential ads myself as a content creator, and then it's like, hey, I want just the interesting ones, like voted, like upvote, downvote. You're not really missing that much, Limanox. Most people like do their best to get rid of them. And there is some security implications for ads too. Twitch violates your rights. You have an ad blocker. Yeah, it's like at least they're not like trying to blow up your computer by using an ad blocker, right? Okay, so let our template. Okay, so if we read to string, and this is our template.aml. Let's throw in. Okay, so we have our template. Then document new template. Okay, so I compile the template, right? Then it's gonna be a backend. I would almost call this the app, right? This is so let mute app. Oh, but you're calling it a backend, so I'll just use the same words then. Okay, builder. So I want to, enable alt screen? What does that do? Enable the alt screen. Alt screen is good. Enable it. What does it do? Enable alt's good. Enable raw mode? Sure. Whatever that means. I don't know if sure, let's hide the cursor. We'll finish this. Context, we are building the backend. That gives us that. And then We create a runtime. Okay, so runtime new. So we hand it the doc, we hand it the back end. We finish this. And then we can do runtime run, and this cannot fail, apparently, or it's going to crash. One of those two. And then you're upset. Uh-oh. Oh, you're upset just because I don't do this. Okay. Unused result. Hey, unused result. Okay, so context with this is running the TUI. And then actually I can just return this thing. Can I? Okay, cool. You apparently don't need to be mutable. Backend doesn't need to be mutable, but whatever. So if I just skip looking at the rest of the instructions and run this, what happens? Right. I can't run this, can I? Because I need to add in, if I just add a main file to this, does this work? If I just go into source, I guess I can use examples too. That would work as well. Wrong main. You main. And I want to do a, oh, I can't add in it. I want a main. I don't usually do a result on main, but because this is sort of like an example, sort of like playing around with, I'm going to go ahead and just use a result. Like that, which I need you to be a use error result. And then run. I want front end run and return what you're going to return. Okay, so if we run you, let the compilation happen. Alt screen basically makes sure all output ends up in a new buffer. So when you quit the app, it restores the terminal to what was there previously. It doesn't work in all terminals, but should work in all terminals that matter. Okay, which makes sense. Okay, that's great. It's required for VT100, so if the term doesn't support it, it's broken. Nice. As someone who has written a broken terminal emulator that doesn't support alt screens, can confirm the terminal was broken. Nice. Okay, well, this is pretty cool. Here's this, and this is what we see. So you are great. We've aligned centered, and then we have this stack. Now, my guess is that I can set these to be variables that I import and use from the doc, right? So I can like throw into the doc. Now try running cd ... into our run. Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem, right? Should. Oh, like yeah, you're. Oh, error loading and template. Where did I put the template? Did I put the template in source? I did. There we go. All right, so we have this. Great. And this could absolutely be we can use our hello queue. We could do all sorts of fun stuff with this, can't we? Now, we have the prelude and we have the components. Okay, great, great, great. I don't really care about that yet. Yeah, and that was a good thing to point out. I hadn't realized that I had CD'd in there when I created the file, which obviously is a problem, right? Oh, and before I forget, because you are down here, let's go ahead and buffer close you, because that's gonna just buffer close all. There. Runtime and backend. Okay, so let doc equals document new text. So hold on. If we go back into our library again here. Well, I guess, next question. Because I bet we're going to run into this exact same problem with the major stream manager over here, aren't we? So if let's see, where do I want to put this? Because source main, switch events listener config, we have the config. I probably want to run this in both of these here, right? Where does run come from? Run is the Switch events listener run. I think I also want to run the TUI in here, don't I? So if I run, oh, but that's not a Tokyo spawn, but I kind of want it to be. Oh, and you're not async. So I can't do that in there, can I? Right? Like if I want to run this in another thread, I have to actually run this in another thread. Since the template is not a Rust file, how does distribution work with crates.io in case you wanted to publish this as a crate? The templates themselves would have to be, well, they would, it's a good question. That would either have to be like an assets file, or maybe I would have to put them into like source or someplace else, like someplace where somebody could get them. Or if I wanted a crates.io thing, I could have a post install or a pre-install script in crates, and then it would just grab whatever the latest ones are from a server that I have somewhere. That could work too. We could also do a static stir and have a Rust file with a template. That could also work. Basically anything that gets us a string, right? That's all that we care about. Okay, so I can't run things that are not. Wait, I am awaiting in here. Can I just run this? Can I just do front end? Like that? Why can't you find this? Why do I have a hair in my mouth? Do I have to use don't have to use crate, right? Oh, wait, no. You know what I'm forgetting? Dependencies. So I want front end. I'm going to do path equals front end like that. There you go. Now I can restart the LSP. Just doing arbitrary internet operations in a build script feels dirty. I mean, that's how most of the bad things are happening in them, right? Laminox, well, thank you for hanging out with us. And 11 p.m. We'll have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Okay, so you're not going to run. So theoretically now, we're going to quit you, and we're going to head back. Oh, Brooks Build Stream Manager. Okay, so now if I do cargo run like this, it should run. Where is this going to show up? Now I have some of the print lines. Now I'm curious about like how that's going to work. Use of undeclared crate or front end. Oh, don't I have this? Why are you not yelling at me? Let's see. It's not extern crate or anything that I want to do, right? Like this is what I did for Oh, it'd be in a Twitch events listener. Where's my auth stuff? Yeah, so I just have mod auth here. Oh, I just made that a module, didn't I? I didn't make that an actual different thing. I mean, I guess I could just make this a separate module, but I would love to make this a separate like a separate crate inside of here. What did I do wrong? Why aren't you yelling at me, Helix? Shouldn't you yell at me? Now you're yelling at me. Okay, cool. Now we can fix this. No code actions available. Have you declared frontend as a dependency of Stream Manager? I tried to. Like that. That didn't work though. Use of undeclared creator module front end. Is it because this is after the patch? Let me try just doing this here. Oh, yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was how to do it not after the patch. Okay, so nothing will happen until I log into here. Oh, but the auth server started up to catch the response. Things should be running now, but when we send a message, we should see that logged out. Yeah. We see the message logged out, but we don't see the TUI because the TUI is waiting. It's waiting for this to finish. I can't run this in this spawn here. I have to do a different spawn altogether. Now, if I do this first like that, I wonder how nice this is going to be. There you go. Error loading the template. No such file or directory because I need to put the template in the root file, don't I? Yeah, so I need to then copy or move or ln maybe it. We can create, oh, thought I turned that off. ln, let's see, what is it? Okay, so now I have a link to the template. So that way it's just a link to it. If we cargo run you, print lanes are now happening inside of here, but this is probably okay. Because I could have this message inside of the app, right? Yes, let's find out. So if we send a message or the ad start, we should see that print out down below here. So if I just say hi, there we go. Yeah. It's a little bit weird how it looks, but the server is running and the Anathema front end is running. We're not doing anything with the Anathema front end, so that's obviously a problem here, but not that big of a problem. Okay, so what does that mean for us? I want to change this thing here. Raw mode prevents inputs from being forwarded to the screen. The event system will pick them up, but the terminal will not try to print them. Oh, like when I type into it. Yeah, okay, got it. Enable mouse support in the terminal if it's supported. I think I don't know if we turn that on or not. Creates an alternate screen for rendering. Okay, yeah, that's good. Hides the cursor. I think we're doing hide cursor. This is enabled by default on a TUI backend, so I can Control C to quit. And then FPS is 30 frames per second, which is also perfectly fine. A component exposes event handling and state management. Any type that implements the Anathema widget's component's component trait is a component. This trait has no required methods. However, note that there are two required associated types, state and message. If the component does not need to handle state or receive messages, these can be set to the unit type. Okay. A component has to be compiled by a document and registered with the runtime before it can be used in the template. This can be done in 2 steps. Add the component template and associate a tag with the template. Register the component with the runtime. Okay, so I see a few things here. Yeah, that's barely fine. So I want to, let's go ahead and remove our template. Let's go ahead and remove that testing queue too. Let's create a directory for templates, because I think we're going to have multiple now. And we're going to move template into, actually, I don't even know if we're going to move that in there. I think let's ln templates as the directory. Oh, I have to like lns, right? Yeah, I have to symlink it. Yes, there's our templates. That's good. That will work. Now, I want to touch. What kind of template do I want? It's like multiple templates. This would be the hello queue, right? Add the component template and associated tag with the template. Register the component with a runtime. So we're going to have runtime register component, name the component, which he calls a tag. The template of the component. The component instance. Wait, where did that come from? And then component, the state of the component. Huh. Oh, my component. They're like that. Okay. And component state is just another component, right? So Now, if I go into source, I probably want to, we're going to make a directory. Let's just take components, touch mod.rs, and then I guess this will be the hello Q. All right. So in our library, we want to mod components. Why can't you find them? I touched them, right? Oh, that's all. I just needed Helix to see that it existed. Okay, and then we're gonna have a pub mod. Come on. Same exact problem, right? There you go. I knew you could do it. Helix. Okay, so we have our hello Q, so we're gonna have a pub struct hello Q. So we can just call this hello Q like that. We're gonna import component for hello Q. We have type state and message. Set that to ignore. So if we start that, it's fine, but you need a component state. So we still need to say something like obstruct hello Q state. Which is, well, I don't know what to do with this. We're just going to say you are hello Q state. Okay. We need the template, which means I need to create the template, don't I? Templates over there, so we can just do a new write front end templates. Oh, I already have one. Hello Q templates. And we need to figure out how to make this work, but we had the other one. All right, so for right now, this is what we're going to keep in here because we don't know how those work yet. And now we have enough to create this, right? Okay, so this will now be hello Q template equals read a string. Templates hello Q template.aml loading the hello Q template. We create a new document with the hello Q template. Which is, that's interesting. I need to register a component, don't I? Before this? So this would be the hello Q component. Runtime. Oh, have to do it after this. Okay. Okay, so our runtime. Oh, it's part of our builder here, right? Before we do finish, we will do register component, the identifier. So hello Q, the template, which would be the hello Q template. The component, which is just my components. That's the hello Q like that. And then hello Q state. Like that. Okay. What are you upset about? Mismatch types. Expected nothing found hello Q state. You're not unsaved. Oh, because I did it for message. That's why. Oh. The trait bound hello Q state is not satisfied. The following other types implement the trait state. Oh, so you need to impulse state. Is there a derive for this? Can I do that? That would be pretty awesome. I want to derive. Wait, what did I derive? State? Only named fields. So there is a macro for this. I see. Okay. Oh, state. External state. A component can have internal state, mutable access, and external state, read only. To pass external state to a component, provide a map in the template with a key value pair. I need context for this to make sense to me. Internal state is anything that implements the state traits. Okay, so derive state, struct my state. Oh, so you need only name fields. I see what you mean. So you need something like this, where it's like name value. Okay, so here. Let's go back to what we had. Let's just do this. And then in you, we'll just do that. You'll be kind of happy. Register component returns what? A result? Wait, what do you return? Component ID. Wait, can I not finish this? Uh-oh. It's not part of the builder. Oh, I missed half the break. I'm confused about how I'm supposed to use this with the runtime with the builder. So I registered the component. Do I do this not after? Okay, hold on. It gives me a runtime like that. So do I want to do something like runtime dot like that. This method takes 3 arguments, 4 arguments. Okay. Unresolved import. Yeah. Nope. The trait bound component ID from stir is not satisfied. Trait from usize is implemented for component ID. Wait, what? Yeah, that's just a tag, right? Let's see. I haven't been paying attention, but by them 4 lines, I can tell it's Elm style, isn't it? I would guess so. I haven't watched too many of ToggleBit's implementation of Anathema, so I would guess that it is, but I'm not sure for certain. The documentation doesn't look ready to use. Maybe the repo as examples. Yeah, maybe. The documentation is kind of countering itself. He did warn that. Yeah, he did warn that. That's true. Which is also why it's not published yet. Yeah, but come on. I demand that ToggleBits Alpha be like a fully polished everything, right? Isn't that something we can use? Okay, so here's where he gets the templates. Okay, so like puts them all together. There's no components with this. Wait a second. There's no components? Is there any examples with components? No. Do I... Like, I would imagine that I need a component for either the message or the state. Oh, no ads. Okay, here's a state. Okay, so it creates root view is just it's a view, not a component. So he doesn't have a component. Do I want a view instead of a component? Okay, so he hands the root view to templates new, template, the template string, hand it to there. Okay, so I'm guessing I don't want components. I think I want a view. And that was it for examples, right? Yeah, because then it's just back to here with, oh, it's still a root view, but not a component. Oh, okay. So let's get rid of our components. And instead we're going to have views, right? Okay. So you're kind of happy now. Now, something I also find really interesting is that they're not using this runtime new finish. They're just doing runtime new unwrap. Because if I just do that, that gives me a runtime builder. That would make sense to then have a finish on it. You schizophrenic web developer. Hello, how are you doing today? Jumping from LM to Stream Manager? Yeah, something like that. I maybe. So hold on. So runtime. Well, you know what? There's a really easy way to find out if this is up to date, isn't there? So what is it? It's cargo run example. Basic. It works. Okay. Okay. Now I'm even more confused. All right. So there is then input. Okay. And then finally multi-view. All right. Okay. That's what we want to see. So you're working, which means that everything I have is not correct. That's what we've learned here, right? Everything that I have here is not correct. So in our front end source library, we're running all this stuff. We need to just restart you. Let's just pull in the prelude. Everything will be fine. Okay, so we'll start with basic. So step 1, load and compile the templates. So we want to load in. So our template, this can be a hello Q template equals string templates Okay, we've got that. Then we create a new template. So we hand it the hello Q template. And then no data for that template, I think is what it's trying to say. Or no tag for the template. Oh, you don't give me any help here. Cool. Yeah, nothing. Excellent. Oh, is it because you're not part of the prelude? Oh. Huh. Anathema VM templates. You can't use anathema. Oh, what? Am I missing? Wait a second. Am I missing a feature? Well, that kind of sucks. Scott, hello. How are you doing today? Hold on. So if I do a cargo add anathema again. I didn't do a cargo add anathema. That's why. Okay, so we need to go find. Oh, but I'm not. Okay, there's no documentation for it, maybe? So cargo doc open. Okay, so VM. Cargo.tom will have all the features listed at least. That's true. That is true. So we can find that over here. Wait. Um. What? What am I pulling in? Wait, now I'm confused. Hold on. Oh, branch dev. That's why. Branch dev. There are, oh, view all files. Oh, there are no examples in the dev branch. Cool. Excellent. But here is the cargo.toml. I'm confused. Yeah, which one of these are the anathema crate? I don't see anathema here. Is there a default? There's, as far as I can tell, there's no features. I don't see like a VM. I don't think the code I had was correct for the. Yes, you're right. The code I had was correct for the dev branch. Yes. Okay. So the code is correct for the dev branch, which would explain why he removed the examples from dev, right? Because they don't work for dev anymore. They were the old way to do it. Okay, that makes sense. I'm curious. Skimmis, you're using anathema, right? Wait, somebody said they were using it. Was it you? Or is it Diablo? Diablo, you're using anathema, right? Huh, okay. I could swear somebody said that they were using it for a like a dashboard to like monitor their stuff. Oh, it might have been Liminox, yeah. Liminox is now sleeping. So we'll have to wait until another time. I was gonna ask like what version they were running on. Were they running on like the main branch? Were they running on a specific commit? Something like that. But okay. So if we use the dev branch, everything is different, right? Yeah, everything is different. We have to figure out where this I wonder if he had views before and now has components. You're gonna see if Togglebutt is asleep. I'm planning on only streaming for another like 20 or so minutes, so I don't know, Scott, if it's worth waking him up or like bothering him for it right now. Perhaps though we could do like a Parian stream because like I don't have normal work anymore. I'd be perfectly happy to do a to stay up really late or get up super early and do a Parian stream with Toggle, and he can show me how to use it. That would be amazing. I would love to do that. Let's see. So where do we want to go with this? We have our documentation. Where did this go? Oh, it opens up in Safari because of course it does. That's fine. So here's what we have. We have Anathema, which just re-exports all of you together. And we have Component and Prelude. And so Yeah, I'm on his Discord, so I'll try to remember to send a message to him later today. Okay, so a document is a document containing templates and components. Is there still such a thing as views? I don't think so. I think they now do they now do other things, right? So if I go to component, okay, so pub trait, component, type state, blah, 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 provide methods. Okay. That's cool. So we get all those. So I think I think it is components then. Can I see like a view? A viewport represents the available space in the root. There's also the root view component. Okay, so there's the default widgets viewport, which I don't know if that's what I want. Okay, so take a look at our code here. Let's bring it back to what we had before. So this works, right? Except for the entire register component thing. That part doesn't work. But let's ignore the components. The rest of this works. So if I let's see, that's that thing. If I do cargo run here, air loading the hello queue to template. Why? Because I'm in source. There we go. Okay, so this is definitely working. So we have a doc, and the doc is being handed to the runtime. The doc gets the template, and that's pretty much it. The backend gets all these things. We then hand the doc and the backend to the runtime. Now that gives me this runtime here. What can I do with this runtime? Right, so run with content, that runs. What can I do with doc? Doc has an add component. As opposed, okay, so doc has an add component, which is different than an add template. A document containing templates and components. Oh, adds better. Thank you for that. So, but there's also a register component on here. Yeah, because I can register a component off of the runtime builder. Which gives me a component ID. The problem is that I lose the builder. Okay, so we want to go take a look at runtime builder. So register component definitely returns a component ID. And then there's no way for me to get a runtime builder again from this, right? It's just too late. So that feels weird. Like it feels like I'm not supposed to call this myself. It only takes a mute self, so you don't technically lose it, just can't chain methods calls. Oh, yeah, I get it. Okay. All right. So I do runtime new like that. Then we'll finish it over here. This is going to be a runtime builder. Or, yeah, let's just call this runtime builder. Then you need to be mutable. Okay, so then I can do our runtime builder register component, and so here's where I get to do all the fun other stuff, right? So this would be our hello queue, the template. So hello queue template, which I've already given ownership to the doc, so we'll have to probably clone that. The component. Okay, so this is back to, let's just create it down here. So we'll have a struct hello queue okay. So our component is going to be hello queue and then the state. It's going to be that. And then we need, I don't actually know if I even need the component ID, right? Because we just registered you. Use the move value, right. So we're going to clone you. And actually, I wonder if this component is going to be in here twice now. So I'm going to clone you, but I actually don't know if I need anything. I wonder if I just need like a default document. Okay, so that's all I've got. I have these multiple of these running. Let's kill you. So we still only have, we either only have one of you or we have two of you over, like sitting on top of each other. And I don't know which one that would be. Now, if I were to delete you altogether, I can't do that. So document. So here's another thing is I can add a component here as well. And I'm not sure where I should be adding it. So maybe I should be adding it. So is this like, is this the root level component template, whatever? So let's do this. It was what was it? It was something like text. They had an example, right? Yeah, text, I am a widget. Okay, so text, stream manager like that. Okay, so you're happy now. Instead of register a component like that, let's now do, say, I pass ownership of doc to the runtime builder, so I probably have to do it beforehand, right? So I have to do doc dot add component name hello q, and then the template hello q template. Okay, so if I do that, that's interesting. I wonder if I need to register it and add it together. Okay, so here's the title for Stream Manager. So that's the initial template that's handed to the document, but then it doesn't display it. Okay. Now if I register it here, so runtime builder register component, and if I give it the same name, so hello q. Template would be the hello q template, which means we need to clone it up there. Hello q that. No, okay, so that didn't cause it to appear. Do I need to put the component into like a widget or something? Or I need to use the component in, I need to use the component in a template. So it's actually not, that's not what I care about. I go here. Ooh, how does the template system work? None of these have like document. Okay, fine. I think we have to go to his website to see his idea of templates. Okay, so we have like HStack. I need like more information about templates. Yeah, probably easier to find that, probably. But I also enjoy just wildly guessing and doing this type of thing because like to me, I think I'm going to understand it a little bit better once I get it through this method, but maybe not. If I don't get it at all, then obviously your method would be better. Oh my, you're wrong. The best viewers are here. And therefore you get banned. Okay, so element name. And then start of optional attributes. So optional attributes. So if the element name, I wonder if he's handling spaces. He's a developer. What's the chance that a developer handles spaces? Hello Q is what I have here, right? So in the Hello Q template, no, wrong template. I also didn't mean to quit. I don't want text stream manager. Template name is Hello Q. I'm betting this is not going to work, but if I want this to be the tag, essentially, load this in there. So load the component Hello Q as this template. Stop by, okay, 27. Okay, just there. But if I now take this Hello Q and we remove the name, and so I register the component Hello Q like that. I was hoping that would work. It just quit. Because it didn't register, it didn't recognize the component. Is there yeah, it's like text okay, it can do like a border. Oh, another. Okay, so what if I do border and then Hello Q? Nope, wrong one. Up here. Okay, it doesn't crash now. That's a better sign. Okay, so now I need to look for components. How do I load a component? A component has to be compiled by a document and register with the runtime. Okay, so we register the component. Use a component in a template by prefixing the tag with an @ sign. Okay. At name of the component. Okay. Invalid token. Expected valid token found statement. Okay, so runtime register component. Now I'm wondering, okay, so my comp, and then you're doing at my comp. And we have a bunch of state stuff, but that's not what I care about. Yeah, might be. There's a chance that it might be. Let's see. Okay, so if the white space is important, although you know what, there's an easy way for us to verify if the white space is important or not. Actually, you know what? Even better way to test this. We're going to create a new component. So in, I guess this could be templates. Oh, nope. Front end templates. We'll call this like the root template or index.aml. And so we're going to do border at hello Q, like that, right? So exactly the same thing here. So we're going to also okay, so I hand over the index template. And then I register the component here. So no cloning or no other shenanigans required now. So out of curiosity, border. Okay. So what we've got, we have our hello Q template. We have our index template. We load the index template. So like the base template. I register a component, which is the hello Q component. And then we run everything. The index template references the hello Q component, which loads this template. That's how it works. Okay, we got it. So then, if I wanted to hand something to, let's see. So we have like, there was this entire thing about state. So when I use the component here, I can hand it, okay, this is a value. Use the external state in the component, refer to the keys in the map, pass the component, okay. So key, this is a value, so I'll be able to say something like, ooh, but I don't have access to that here. when I create the component, maybe I can use a internal state like this. And then, okay, so state has like name and numbers. What they're not showing is how to access the state from the component. Let's search for state this time. Maybe I want to look at template instead. How to grab the value from like the state. Because these are all hard coded. Okay, so this is, none of this is actually showing me how I'm actually going to get access to the thing. Yeah, because like element name, start of optional attributes, attribute name, attribute value, attribute separator. Okay. Like if we would look at, so not this template. What actually would have to be that template, wouldn't it? So, because I need something to put in here. Like, what do I do to hand in to? I guess let's not worry about that right now. For you. So like we have this, you are great. Okay, great. Wonderful. What if I don't want it to be you? What if I want this to be something else, like the state? Like I want this to be name. Now, we know that at is the template name, so I'm wondering if he is using something like that or that or that to get access to name. So if we come back to here and struct hello q state, we're gonna have a pub name, the string. What are you upset about? No method named value ref found for struct string. No method named to pending found. Oh, wait a second. So you have to be like states. Oh, you have to be a value. Okay. So you're going to be a value of a string. Okay. So you're going to be that, you're going to be that, and then you're upset. So I want to hand it a hello Q state with a name. Can I say something like, hi there? And then into it. Sort of, except I lost you. No, I can't. Not satisfied. Okay, from straight from. Oh, okay. So we'll do owned into it. Sure, why not? So we have name like that. I'm trying to get name out of here. Nothing shows up in there now. So it's not $ name. False. Okay. False are great. What if I just have name? Hey, okay. So I can just have name. Hi there. Like that. Okay. All right, we're getting there. So the next steps would be to figure out how to. So I believe at this point in time, I would be able to add these things in dynamically through the push method, right? Well, no, I can't do that yet. I need to figure out how to add things in through states. Like how do I in the state update? How do I update the state? That's what I need to do. How do I update the state? I mean, okay, yeah, I can push here, but that's not the same thing. For a component to receive events, it has to enable event handling by implementing one of the. Okay, so we need events maybe? Probably the message passing. Yeah, that makes sense. Probably the message passing. And I think there was something about messages down here. To communicate with components from outside of the runtime, messages can be sent to components from using the component ID as an address. There we go. Okay. That would allow me to then accept strings as the message. Function message, okay. We've added the component. Send messages. Emitter is this emitter. Wait, where do they get this emitter from? Oh, runtime emitter. Okay. Oh, so we get the emitter from the runtime. Okay, so if I get the emitter from the runtime and the recipient will be when I add the component to the doc. No, this is not right. When I register the component, I get a component ID like that. I can use this component ID to emit a message. at some, like, whenever I want. That's how I do it. So the documentation is mostly there. The general idea of it works, but it's not really working the way, like, we have to figure some stuff out. But it makes sense. And I guess that's all that really matters, right? So we can then pass a message in using this. And so I can probably, before we end for the day, let's try to pass in something to it. So our type message is going to be a string, which means we need to do message, function message. Okay, so self, take in a message, self message. We take in, okay, so we have a state and elements. Okay, so we have all that stuff, which I don't really care about. I only care about state, right? So we know that the state starts with hi there. And so I want to change this to, so state dot name is now going to be, I was sent by a message. We'll do owned it and then do a into it. Okay. And now all I need to do, actually, you know what? I don't want to do that here. I just want this to be the message. We just message into to set that. Okay. We have this runtime. It's probably the runtime builder stuff, right? So I want to runtime builder. Where did we get the emitter from? Runtime emitter. Okay, so it's not that. Maybe it's this runtime. There we go. Emitter emit. So we're going to emitter emit our value and then component ID. So the value is going to be the string, right? So we're going to say hello from a message. To own that, and then the component ID is going to be the hello queue component. What did I do wrong? Expected result, that's why. Oh, I already did context. I just need a question mark u. Question mark u. Okay. So if we do that, you're fine. We're going to emit that. So we have hi there right now. Now, I'm a little bit concerned that this never runs, right? Like, does this just halt here and never runs down here because I just don't have the emitter? Do I want a separate runtime? There's no other runtime. The runtime has just disappeared from this. So I don't actually know where like the runtime run is. Okay. I can't run this beforehand, so I have to kind of do this here. Or it is successfully running it. But what we can do is we can just do a print line. Here. Yeah. Okay. So if I do something like print line before run, after run, we're going to see the before run. No, we don't see it because it's behind this. I vaguely remember seeing that. Yeah, we were getting messages. Yeah, I'm in the front end, so it is that thing that I want. Hmm. So how do I get the emitter? Manyhow emitter. Okay, anathema runtime emitter. Oh, wait, there's a method emitter off of runtime like that? Oh, yeah, okay, it takes a self. Okay, so the runtime. Okay, finish unwrap. We knew this. Register the component. We can get the. I can get the emitter, and then do I want to do that before the run? I probably want to do it before the run. Because the run is going to just own, and that's going to block, right? So I finished it here to get the runtime. I get the emitter. I then emit out here, and then I run it. So now we should get hello from a message. Okay. Interesting. That's not exactly what I was expecting. Do I need to do something? Let's see, this gives me a view message. The following example sets the component to accept string s and start a thread. So yeah, message string. So state. Oh, wait. State unwrap? Why is that an unwrap? In 2024, I don't know how we don't have better tooling that gives errors and blocking functions instead of guessing. I know it's that would be pretty cool to like say like, hey, we're blocking here or something like that. Especially in like debug mode. Almost like a debugger built into the runtime. So instead of like a debugger in the editor, I have a debug in the actual running code. That would be interesting. Okay, so you're yelling at me. Okay, so you have that state unwrap there. What's going on with that? So state, yeah, there's no unwrap. And I have access to this name here. And it is mutable, a mutable reference. So I don't really get how. I feel like that's just documentation being wrong. Lillian, hello. How are you doing today? Yeah, I feel that that's just documentation being wrong. State is a mute self state. Why are you unwrapping that? What is your state? Yes, they're not showing what the state is. Messages, pushback, message. So that's an interesting. Okay. So I think we have the right idea. But I don't think we have the exact right way to do it. You're attempting to set the name, right? To like update that. Unless, of course, there's more functions in here. Just those. On blur, on focus, on key, on mouse, except focus. Okay, so none of those. So I set a message type string. Emitter emit. That should be a string. We can just like, for really sure, we'll toString it just to be absolutely sure that it's a string. Component ID is hello component, hello Q component, which is a component ID. Now, unless you need to be an actual, like the number, like a dereft component ID. No, you want something that goes into component ID, which, so the fact that this is a component ID is correct. Lillian, you're doing moderately well. Can't decide if you want to write an Intel 8080 emulator or an ELF linker. I've heard of an ELF linker, but I don't remember what that is. Either of those two sound, decently hard and fun. So I don't know. I don't think I can help you decide that. I'm doing pretty well. We're trying to get Anathema to display something after I send it a message, which is interesting. I'm able to get an empty, like just nothing in here. It's basically like an empty space. Now, You know, another thing that we could do, just to make sure, let's see. This message. You are a string. You claim you're a string. What if I were to just say message like that? No. Okay. Which I guess makes sense. It's not updating the component. Well, wait a second. It is updating the component because it's removing. Because if I don't actually send the message, right? If I don't emit this, then we get the hi there. And then if I emit you, so this has to be in another thread. So do I have to do a do I want to join there or do I want to join? Let's try this first. Same result there. If I try to join you, here. Yeah, that won't work either. And you had this, send messages, emitter, recipient, component template. Oh, gives me a recipient, okay. We get the emitter. We spawn, send messages, emitter, recipient. Yeah, so let's try this. So I have send messages there that you take an emitter, recipient is going to be a component ID. I just created a counter like that. Emitter emit, format, counter message. Here, this is going to be fine for a message, right? So counter +1. Okay, we do that. And then thread. Now we don't know when the run is because we don't see that, right? We just have our emitter that we create. And so I send, let's see, thread spawn move. And I'm going to send messages, hand it, the emitter, and the hello queue component. Okay, just warnings, no errors. it's skipping every other one. Huh, that's interesting. Supposedly this is running at 30 frames per second. Is that my problem? Is that I have a timing issue? I'm sleeping 1 second. If I sleep like 2 seconds, I don't think this will make any change, right? And then it disappears. Whenever I change the state, the key on the state, it disappears. It like removes it and refreshes, but it doesn't set it to the new value. It just removed it. So it's almost like I need to do 2 changes to it. Or I need to tell it to like, okay, refresh the component at that point in time. Which definitely does make me think that there is something I'm not doing right for like a life cycle, essentially, for the components. Like, okay, so I have input component for that, function message. Are there any other functions? Just those, right? That's just too common. That's not helpful. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, or rather, there's something that I'm missing to get the component to update as soon as it receives the new state, which I don't feel is in the documentation here. Like, I think we're missing something. Okay. But that being said, we made pretty good progress with this. So I'm happy about that. So let's go ahead and commit all of our code. I don't think we made any changes over here, right? I made some changes to something, right? Oh yeah, I did. So git commit. We removed the add starts. The call to find when the next add will start. Okay, so that's good there. So remove the call to find when the next add will start. I can go ahead and push you up. And what do we have here? So we are setting up anathema. And we have the equivalent of a hello world going. And we're in the front end branch for this. Okay, so I think it's after 1 o'clock and I haven't had any real food today, so I'm getting pretty hungry. I think we're going to go ahead and call it a day for that right now. I'll send a message to Togglebit and let him know on Discord that I'm playing around with Anathema. We got like the basic component working, but we're having a little bit of trouble updating the component using state, like using emitting and state and all that stuff, and it's a little bit weird. So I'll chat with him. The next planned stream for this project is probably gonna be next week. Not sure if it's gonna be Monday or Tuesday or some other day. I'm sort of like figuring those out on the weekends. Next stream this week will be on Thursday. We'll be doing an exploration stream for Fusion Auth, which is an alternative to Auth0, which I'm really looking forward to taking a look into, because so far I've met their CEO, their CTO, some of their DevRel people. I really like them, so I'm hoping they have a really great product too, and I'm looking forward to checking that out. So with that, have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time, whenever that is. Bye.